Good evening, everyone. Your mind is not playing tricks on you. It's not Monday, it's Tuesday. And we are here with a very special spotlight tonight. And we are so excited. I'm Lisa, and I'm here with my co host, Brenda. And I'm going to let Brenda introduce the woman that we are spotlighting tonight, the amazing woman that we are spotlighting tonight.
Yes, I'm really excited to be doing this tonight. I'm smack in the middle of her book right now and loving it. So Elle Evans was originally from Massachusetts and she now lives in Philadelphia where she works in healthcare. But Elle Evans is not her real name. It's a not so secret pen name. In real life, she publishes academic research papers about anesthesiology and value-based care. To protect readers from accidental boredom or unsolicited healthcare analysis, she writes commercially under pseudonym. She's recovering from a recent 5-year stint in Nashville for graduate school, which you can see reflected in the book, punctuated by sweet southern hospitality and even sweeter iced tea. She enjoys caffeine, cocktails, and crumble cookies, although not all at once. And I will have to ask her if it's in that order. Welcome, Elle.
Welcome, Elle.
Hi
Thank
guys,
you
thanks
so
so much for
much.
having me. I'm so excited.
We're so
So
excited you're here.
so great for you to be here. And so is it in that order? Is it caffeine, cocktails, and crumble?
I think it has to be that order. I think so. I didn't think about that consciously, but I really cannot function without caffeine. So I think that's got to be number one.
I
Well, and
think
if you're
we're
in healthcare, that's
friends.
probably even more reason to need the caffeine.
Oh yeah, yeah. I think there's like a law that there needs to be a certain number of coffee shops per capita in a hospital because just everyone will riot and strike otherwise. It's absolutely essential.
All right. Well, I know where I'm investing my money now for my retirement. Coffee shops and hospitals.
Yeah, it's the
But
ironclad. It's a recession-proof industry for sure.
We'll
we're
circle
here
back to
tonight.
the we'll circle back to the crumble cookies and the
Yes, we
cocktails
will.
because we want to know about that too.
But tonight we are here to talk about wedding issues by Elle Evans, who is here with us
Yay.
tonight. And Elle, could you start by just giving our viewers a brief summary of wedding issues?
Of course. So, Wedding Issues is about a fast talking, very charismatic law student who finds herself the maid of honor for two weddings that are competing for a bridal magazine cover. So, essentially, these two dueling weddings. And then sprinkled in there, there is a really evil and like a Southern bless your heart kind of way aunt, a whole lot of wedding sabotage, and then, a forbidden crush as well. And then I wrote this book while I was living in Nashville, and I feel like it's really a love letter to the city. So I'd also say that it can really be your travel inspiration or your guide to a weekend away because I really just wrote into it all my favorite spots in Nashville.
I love Nashville. That's awesome.
I love it too.
Definitely has the Nashville vibe. It gives you the Nashville vibe for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love Nashville. Yeah, I'm going back in a couple weeks, and I'm looking for. I think my biggest problem is there's so many restaurants I want to eat in, so I'm just trying to figure out what to do between the eating, which is always the struggle.
That's
So,
hilarious. Oh.
being in the medical field, what was your inspiration for this story?
Yeah, so I wrote Wedding Issues mostly in my like mid to late 20s, which was a period in my life when I felt like everyone I knew was getting engaged, getting married. I was a bridesmaid like 4 times in like 2 years, and I got married myself in that time period. So wedding planning was just like a huge part of my life for those couple of years. And starting that process, especially with friends from college who lived in other cities, I was really struck by how much goes into it, not just in the romantic love between the people getting married, but there's so much friend love, family love, self-love. So I thought it would just be a really nice sort of backdrop for a story about like self-discovery, self-love, and all of that. And it's just fun. Everyone loves weddings, so it's just a really fun topic to write about.
And you know
Love
what? The
it.
wedding game has really stepped up a lot since I was in that time frame of bridesmaiddom.
Yeah, it's a whole industry now. It's
It
it's
really is.
crazy. Yeah. I
And
have a
and
couple.
speaking Oh, apologies.
No, I was just going to say I have a couple more friends. It feels an endless number of friends getting married. So I have a couple more getting married this year. And even now I'm like, my gosh, I'm glad I already did that. It seems like it's getting even crazy like by the year. Like I couldn't even keep up now.
Yeah, it's
Well, it
definitely
sounds
an
like you have
industry.
lots of experience. So, since you've written your book, what advice would you give to a bride to avoid wedding issues?
Oh, that's a good question. I think the number one piece of advice is to accept that it's such a big event. Some things are out of your control and something will go wrong. If you just accept that and you just come back to the fact that this day is about you and your partner celebrating your love, with some loved ones, and that's the most important thing, then it will be okay if you're like me and somehow they serve neon orange tofu at your wedding despite you micromanaging everything and somehow they still got it wrong. It just, if you just accept that up front and just understand, then it will not be a surprise when that sort of thing happens.
And it will. Like there will always be some little thing that goes, it's just something minor that seems major at the time. And like you said, you just have to accept it and move
Mhm.
on. I do want to mention to everyone watching live, if you have a question for Elle, you can drop it in the chat and we'll try to ask her live. My question before I dive into the other question, I want to know what's your favorite cocktail and what's your favorite crumble cookie?
Oh gosh, this is tough. You're really putting me on the spot here, but I would say
That's
favorite.
what we're for.
I know, I like it. Favorite cocktail. I really like a good French 75, and I feel like you can do some fun iterations of that. I also feel very fancy when I order it because I'm like there's champagne in it.
Yes.
There's other stuff I don't really know. It comes in a nice glass, but I feel fancy. It's like me feeling sophisticated when I order it. So I really like that. And then for crumble cookies, I think part of why they have me, addicted is because they change their flavors every week. So I keep
Yep.
having this, like flavor FOMO of I'm like, I'm gonna take a week off. I don't need these giant cookies in my life. But then I see, oh, this is a good week though. It's a good week. Uh, so I will say, pretty much any of the flavors where they have like that really rich icing on top. So either if it's like a sugar cookie or any of those like cake varieties, it's my Achilles heel.
I love crumble cookies and I love a French 75 as well.
All right,
So
well, I think that we
I'm
should
right there
have
with
a
you.
French 75 crumble cookies match made in heaven.
Sounds perfect. But my real question was, can you share with us your path to publication with Zibby Books? Like, how did that come about? How long did it take from when you typed the end to when you were able to have it published with Zibby Books?
Oh, it was a long time. Definitely, it was a journey. I think everyone talks about publishing being a journey, and for many of us, it ends up being a lot longer than you ever expected. So for me, let's see, I wrote Wedding Issues probably over like 9-ish months back in like 20 end of 2020 into early 2021, something like that. And I worked on it with my agent after that. So I had revised with her for a couple months. And then I think we went out with it to editors the fall of 2021. No, it was after fall of 2022. So it took a bit. It took a bit of editing before, both with myself and with my agent. Fall of 2022, we went out to editors, and that's when I signed with Zibby. And then because it was a wedding themed book and we wanted it to come out sometime in wedding season, not like, I don't know, people get married at all times a year, but just traditional wedding season, we decided on a spring 2024 publication date. So it's been like 3 years. It's definitely it's been a long
Wow.
time. I've read this book more times than I can count. So many times.
And you're almost there because it pub dates on April 2nd.
Yes, April 2nd.
Almost there, a little less than a month.
I know it's crazy. It's all becoming real. I'm like, people are actually gonna read this. It's crazy.
Yes. And speaking of people reading it, where can someone get a signed copy of your book if they'd like one?
Oh, a signed copy. Well, I'm doing some events. The week the book comes out, I'm doing some author events. So if you live in Boston, I'll be at Trident Bookstore the night of the second. I'll be at Athena Books the next night. Doing an event in New York that Thursday. And then if you live in Nashville, where this book is based, I'll be at Parnassus Books on Friday. Um, so yeah, those are the places where I will be to sign your book. But if you really want one, you can send me a DM on Instagram and I'm happy to sign one of these little wedding issues cards and then mail it.
Oh,
So even if I can't see you in person,
very
I'm
cool.
happy to give you something that I signed.
Very cool. And what is, for those that don't follow you on Instagram, what's your handle so they can follow
Yes.
you?
Yeah, my handle is LELLE.evans.books. So very easy to remember.
Very, very cool. That's so awesome. Um, so I was actually going to ask you about your events, but I wanted to say, one of the other questions I had, what do you want your readers to take away from wedding issues?
It's a great question. I think Wedding Issues is a book that I had so much fun writing. So I really hope that readers have fun reading it. So that's number one. I wanted to be a book it brings a smile to your face, that you want to tell someone about a joke that you saw or read in the book. I want that to bring you some joy. But I hope that, some of the deeper themes in the book, it makes you think about the weddings in your own life and the friendships and the love that you have with your family, with your friends. Everyone has some sort of love story in their life, whether it's romantic, friendship, or self. And I hope that this book sort of helps people tap into that and kind of think about that and bring that smile to their face.
Great, perfect.
Wow, that's awesome. I don't know. While Lisa looks at the chat, I'm going to I don't want to say too much because even though it's on page one, I don't want to be doing spoilers, but I've got to tell you, page one is just about the funniest I have read in quite a while. And I can't really ask, I guess I can ask Liv. Liv has a talent
Mhm.
for
Yes.
text,
Yes.
and she displays that in the very beginning of the book, and I just thought that was really funny.
Yes, I will tell you also very cryptically that came from my own talent that I was known for,
Really?
and I used to do that all the time for my friends. So everyone listening, if you'd like to know what this talent is, you should pick up a copy of Wedding
Pick up
Issues,
the
page one.
Yes.
You don't have to read
Page
far.
one. I will tell you, you definitely grab the reader from the very, very beginning. It
I'm
was
telling you,
so
yes.
great. So, so great. And I do have a question from the chat. Edie would like to know what is your best dance song to get guests dancing at a wedding? That was good to say.
Oh, oh, that's a good one. I will say big picture genre, anything ABBA, like from Mamma Mia. That will get people on the dance floor. I think it can be dealer's choice. You can do the Give Me a Man After Midnight is very popular nowadays. Dancing Queen, those are classics as well. I think those are just such feel-good songs that everyone will get out there. The bridesmaids will drag the groomsmen out there if they have to, but people will be out there.
And then we have another, oh, it's funny. Maria said the Cupid Shuffle. Edie said yes, ABBA. So those are both popular.
Those are both, yeah,
Um,
yeah, those are great.
we're gonna get
You
you
know,
going.
there's a meme going around the internet now that says the four stages of a wedding reception, and stage one is the electric slide. And then I can't remember what two is, but then three is Cupid Shuffle, and by stage four, you're at the wobble.
I think I think you've just laid out every wedding DJ's playbook. That's just what they go through. They're like, all right, what stage are we in? How do we get to the next one? How do we advance?
Oh my goodness.
There was no chicken dance in there though.
Yeah, that
I'm
seems intentional. I think that was maybe an intentional choice.
Okay, well, I probably should get back off the wedding dance train and ask, now that you've reached that milestone and you're promoting your new book, what are you working on another manuscript now?
Oh yes, I love to write, so I'm always working on something. So
He
this
wants
next
the scoop.
Yes, I'll tell you guys. So the next book I'm writing, I'm sort of going back to what I know. I'm actually writing two books right now, in two different genres.
Wow.
But both of them
Wow.
are like more medical. So a little more of like me getting to show off, like hospital is this is my like home field advantage. I really know this stuff. So one of them is actually a
Ooh.
thriller. So it's very different than Wedding Issues, but it's
Wow.
essentially like Agatha Christie meets, Grey's Anatomy. So it's like these seven doctors get invited to a remote desert retreat for a medical conference. Once they get there, they find themselves cut off from society. One of them turns up dead, and they realize that they had shared some patients in the past, that they've all broken the Hippocratic oath of do no harm. And now they got to sort of figure out, what happened in their past patients before someone does them a whole lot of harm. So that's one. It's very different than Wedding Issues. So if you like to read thrillers as well, that's a good one for you. But if you don't like that and you want a fun book, I'm working on what I call in my head like a doctor rom-com book. It's about an aspiring surgeon who is competing with a work rival for a prestigious chief year fellowship. And he does a lot of sort of sabotage to her at work and in the operating room. And so they're sort of fighting this Cold War like during surgeries. So that's that one. But both of them are very medical and kind of draw from my day-to-day experience.
Very cool. I can't believe you're writing two books at the same time.
It's mostly
I find that amazing.
yeah, it's
Amazing.
do I want to write about people falling in love and being happy, or do I want to write about people dying? And it's just, what do I feel? It's just
I
do
mean, it
it.
really,
Yeah,
it's like, how do you look at it?
exactly.
That is too funny. All
Um,
right.
I
Lisa,
think
did you
Brenda, oh, you want me to
go?
go? Okay.
Well, I was going to ask you if you had another question before I do a giveaway.
Ooh, yes, I do. One thing that our book club members, they always want to know what you're reading or what you're loving or what might be on your nightstand. So, do you have any book recommendations?
Oh, that's a great question. I will say I read a lot of my author friends' books nowadays, which is amazing because I always have this like amazing stack of really quality reads. So I just finished my friend Amy Lim's memoir Hereafter, which is out today, actually. So we're hot off the press. It's very
Oh, happy Pup Day,
Oh,
Amy Lynn.
happy birthday, Amy.
Yeah.
It's a memoir about the loss of her husband. Amy was widowed very early in life, I think around
Oh,
30 or 31, and she writes about her experience afterward and experience with grief. And I'm not someone who reads a lot of grief books or a lot of memoirs, but her writing is just absolutely beautiful. It's a truly incredible book. And I flew through it, and I think everyone else will too. So, not just saying this because it came out today, but it's truly a gorgeous book. Hereafter, can't recommend it enough.
Very cool. And kind of a way to piggyback off that, one of our members, Mary Beth, would like to know, do you have a favorite author who's influenced you?
Oh, yes. Actually, I think the one who influenced me the most overall is Robin Cook, who writes nothing like Wedding Issues, but he is a doctor and very prolific novelist. And he writes usually medical thrillers, so versions of the insurance company killing patients in these like very dramatic ways. It's a very very Robin Cook style plot, but when I was really little, I was interested in writing, but I also, I don't know, my parents said you should pick something that pays money, you know, you should pick a real job. And so I was interested in medicine as well. And I feel when I discovered Robin Cook, it was like this light bulb moment of I don't have to choose. I can write books, I can also be a doctor, and I can have both of those things. And so I think more than anything, he has inspired me to pursue both of those interests.
Awesome. I'll have to look him. I feel like that name sounds really familiar.
He's written
So,
so many books. So, and
yeah, I feel like I've definitely seen his work, and I'm coming. My mind's at a blank, so I'm definitely gonna look that up when we get off of here.
Well, we are I think we're ready for our giveaway. Are we, Lisa?
Yes, we are.
We are going to give away a copy of this wonderful book that you just heard all about tonight, Wedding Issues by Elle Evans. And to enter, all you have to do is to comment on this video tonight of our Spotlight with Elle. And we will pick a winner. Lisa is going to tell me the rules.
So you comment below you comment on this thread for this video. You comment a wedding issue that you had or a wedding issue that you observed, and that will be your entry into the contest. And it will be open until Saturday. So we give some people extra time to watch the video. And once we close it, we will announce the winner and we will send you a copy of Wedding
Oh,
Issues.
Wedding Issues. And
So
thank you, Lisa.
share,
She's our contest guru.
make sure you share those wedding issues. We can't wait to read them.
this is great.
Oh, good. I can tell about my pillbox hat experience.
You can't win.
Darn. Oh, well. Well, Elle, thank you so much for being with us tonight. I know our book club members are going to love Wedding Issues, and it was just a pleasure to get to know you a little bit better. And thanks so much for being here.
Thank you guys so
Yeah,
much
we
for
really appreciate it.
having me. I really enjoyed it. I love chatting about the book, so I'm glad. I hope you guys enjoy it. Thank you.
We'll
Thanks and good night.
definitely, we'll definitely keep promoting it. And happy Pub Day on April 2nd.
I was going to say, I was waiting. Good night.
Good night. Thank you.